Good morning. It's Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. My name is Michael Leeserman here with the Trial Guide's Tip of the Day. Today's tip comes from The Fearless Cross-Examiner, Win the Witness, Win the Case by Patrick Malone. Patrick is here with us today. Could you read this morning's tip, please?
I'd be happy to. Witnesses are like everybody else. They are looking out for number one with every question you ask.
But can you tell us more about that? What do you mean by that, Patrick?
Well, it's one of those things it's both self-evident, but it's also kind of a subtle point. Everybody wants to look good on the witness stand. They know they're on a stage. They're trying to perform. They want to look good for their own ego, and so getting them to admit they've made a mistake is something that's going to cause tension and discombobulation, and sometimes they'll to avoid that. Like if you've caught them in a mistake, for them to avoid admitting it, sometimes they'll evade your question because they don't want to admit they've done something wrong. So the whole idea of this is to kind of think while you're doing the cross-examination of reversing the situation and how would I handle it if I was this witness? If you realize that the witness is always looking out for themselves and they'd rather be evasive than answer a simple question, that way you can be prepared for it and come back at them in a little more empathetic way, really, but one that will ultimately get your point across much more effectively. So think about the witness as looking out for themselves and how you can kind of channel that and empathize with it to make for better cross-examination.
I love the idea of reversing roles with the witness to see and feel where they're coming from. Sometimes when I do that, I think about ways to reduce their resistance to what you're saying. So, for example, it might be a police officer who has entrenched themselves in a position. And I might say something like, now you could only work with the data you had, right? And the data you had admittedly wasn't complete. Giving the witness an out it seems to me one way to do that in an empathetic way that doesn't embarrass them. Because when you say looking out for yourselves, people have a fear of public speaking. They certainly don't want to be embarrassed on the witness stand.
Yeah, exactly right there, Michael. The idea of giving them some graceful exit path that preserves their own ego. And in the meantime, they may have to give up the case that they're trying to advocate for, but one that preserves their position, their dignity, can be very important.
It's funny you say that because, for probably most witnesses, their dignity might be more important than the outcome of the case. It probably is.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Thank you for your wise advice this morning. Thanks for being here, Patrick.
Glad to be here.
Let's take a deep breath together and be grateful to be alive this Thursday. May the work we do today help to reduce suffering in the world, reduce suffering in the lives of our clients, in our lives, and in the world. May our efforts help to repair the world. May we fiercely and compassionately advocate for our clients, champion their stories, and do so from a place of compassion and wisdom. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times now. This can take you into a meditation practice, a prayer practice, or just remind you, wake up, it's Thursday. Go out, do good things, and have fun while you're doing it.